Idea is you can improve that ability. It is not eliminated or forbidden in your soul contract to do so, even though you cannot change your soul contract. But the idea is that light language is simply the receiving of channeled energy, channeled information that is not being translated into your brain into language that you understand. So it's kind of like the raw form of channeling that doesn't translate into any particular language on Earth. You can continue to use it that way to create tonalities that can help people by creating vibrations that they can match that will allow them to upgrade themselves, heal themselves, do a variety of things. But if you wish to have more of a literal understanding or a translation, then it may be important for you to have people actually asking you questions rather than just using it to enhance your connection to a spirit team. So the idea is that, again, if you ground the information in the people asking the questions, then you may be able to practice having a certain center of your brain start to learn how to translate the light language into actual physical human languages by practicing, by having people ask questions, and then you just keep practicing how to allow it to translate into language to give them the information that they seek through you. So you can do it that way, or in a meditative state for about 15 to 20 minutes in the morning or the evening when it's quiet. You can have a journal and you can ask your spirit team for information. You can ask your own questions, ask them out loud, and then just see what you get and write down in the journal, physically write down in the journal whatever it is you get. It may start out seeming nonsensical, but that's all right. Do this for 2 to 3 weeks. You will start seeing patterns, and this can help you practice allowing that area of your brain that can translate light language into physical language to gain more experience by doing it this way, by writing it down in a journal.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have a question about what is happening in our bodies as our vibration increases. Are there physical changes happening in our brain? Are there physical changes happening in our heart or
Yes.
other parts of our body?
Yes, especially in the brain, because it rewires itself to be capable of flowing energy and thoughts in a more efficient way and accessing more information. So anytime you raise your vibration, you literally become a physical, better receiver, a better antenna to receive higher frequency information from your spirit team. It's also aligning your chakra system, your energy systems in your body, all your meridians, things like that. It is improving your health in general by allowing cellular function to function more efficiently throughout your body, delivering the nutrients that it needs. The idea therefore being that by raising your vibration, it's not only energetically beneficial, but physiologically beneficial to you as well, to allow your physical form to be a better representation of what your soul has created as the experiential modality for having a physical experience. So it makes you a more efficient experiencer of all that you can experience in physical reality that will allow you to act on your passion and be of service to others.
So, on a day-to-day basis, just in our lives, as our vibration is increasing, yeah, you've talked before about how we'll be more connected and we'll be able to get more guidance. But will it also affect our thoughts and our emotions and our beliefs? Like, will we start thinking differently, or will some of our
Yes.
negative thoughts just automatically start dropping? Will our beliefs
Well,
shift?
yes, because again, remember, all emotions, thoughts, and behaviors come from what you believe to be true. And if you understand that you are operating on a much higher level of energy, then only the things that are commensurate with that level of energy can really come through. It doesn't mean you are unaware of the possibility that negative things can be chosen, but it becomes less likely. It simply makes no sense. There is a kind of momentum and an inertia that starts to build up so that it would actually eventually become more challenging to choose the negative, because it would be so unlike the vibrational frequency that you're operating at that it would simply make no sense for you to choose it. So while you're not invalidating the idea of the negative as a choice, you simply realize that it simply makes no sense for you to choose it. It just doesn't seem logical.
Okay, thank you. I also have a question about the 100th monkey effect, which basically says once you get a critical mass of people, you end up at a tipping point where it
Yeah.
causes change in the rest of the group. So, in the case of individuals raising their vibration, if enough people raise their vibration, is that going to cause a 100th monkey effect in that it will all of a sudden just spread to the rest of humanity and they'll kind of jump up through no effort of their own?
The allowance is what will allow them to choose that more easily because the energy is now available to them. It doesn't cause them to change, it allows them to change should they decide to do so. So it does create more allowance, it does create more opportunity and option for them to change, because it's like if you look at a fluid and you start adding a color to it, eventually the clear fluid becomes that color in totality. So it's the same idea. You're pouring energy of a certain frequency into the collective whole, and therefore that energy, that frequency, that color becomes more available to everyone should they decide to move in that direction. So yes, it makes it easier. It can tip the scales in that way for those that are seeking that. And therefore, by making it more available, then it's easier for them to choose that. It's easier for them to recognize that it's there for them as a choice.
So, you've said before that there's already hybrids here. Are
Yes,
the hybrids also contributing to that as far as putting new
absolutely.
possibilities out there for everybody to pick up on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do you think that you're already seeing more discussions about things like disclosure, even in your governmental institutions, even in your military and political institutions? Why do you think now it's okay all of a sudden to talk about UFOs without ridicule, without losing your job, without damaging your careers? Why do you think you are seeing certain kinds of progress being made in things like vibrational medicine, genetic medicine, other technological advances? This is all because of the energy and also due to certain physical actions of the hybrids that are embedded in your society, helping to move humanity forward.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You are very welcome.
Hi, Bashar. I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the information that you're imparting and all the knowledge that you're giving us. My question today is specifically focused on repeating patterns and seeing echoes. So I do remember you mentioning that sometimes you do get a chance to level up and there is a echo that gets repeated with the similar pattern coming back, and that is exactly what happened to me. I had an ex-lover come back and it was the exact same pattern in the same demographic, just everything was same. The issue is I didn't react to it differently, and I did want to change my timeline on a conscious level, but I think my limited beliefs did not let me do it on a subconscious level. So what happens in this situation when I do want to change into a different parallel reality? I do want love, I do want a more healthy relationship, but my response has it shown the universe that I'm not ready and that I don't want to shift? Please let me know. Thank you.
Well, that just takes more self-investigation to find out what belief system you're holding on to that doesn't allow you to respond differently to the same scenario that existed in your life previously. So you have to ask once again, what am I getting out of not letting this go? What am I getting out of not changing my response to this? And because you have to be believing you're getting something out of staying where you are. So it's all about taking the time, that's fine, no hurry, no rush, taking the time to investigate more deeply what is the core belief that makes it seem like you should not let go of it that you should not change your response or your reaction to what's going on around you in life. So you have to do some more self-investigation, find out what that belief is that you believe you need to hold on to because for some reason you think it gives you a benefit that's better than the alternative. There is something about the alternative you're still more afraid of than simply holding on to what you are already doing, even as uncomfortable as it may be.
Hi, Bashar. Thank you for your service.
Good day, good day.
I'd just like to know about twin flames. How does 2027 influence twin flame contracts? Will people be able to recognize each other? And would you be able to tell me if I have such a contract?
First of all, the idea of twin flames, while it simply represents an agreement to attract another member of your soul family into your life in a way that allows you each to serve each other to the point where you can really become more of your true selves. While those agreements do exist, we don't usually prefer to put a lot of emphasis on that concept because there is a misunderstanding of that concept for many members of your society, and allows them, because they're so focused on just attracting this one particular person, to not necessarily allow themselves to take advantage of the benefits that could be coming from all the other people in your life that you have made agreements to interact with. So while it's possible that as you increase your vibration, it will be easier for you to attract the people that will reflect to you what you need to know to become more of who you are while you do the same for them, and that's what you're referring to as a twin flame. The important thing is to understand that every single person that comes into your life at that moment is your soulmate, is your twin flame, because the person you're interacting with at any given moment is the one that is reflecting to you at that moment whatever the most important thing is you need to know to become more of who you are if you use the relationship that way as it's been designed. And they are also most likely other members of your soul family. So again, yes, as you increase your vibration, you will attract more people that will help you do this, but at the same time, don't just single out the idea of a twin flame as only one individual being capable of giving you what you need.
Okay. I'll also like to know if I have any hybrid children, and if so, how many?
Yes, you do, but understand that your DNA has been used in the creation of hundreds, if not thousands, of hybrids. So when you say, how many do I have? We remind you that the only reason we give you this answer is because maybe somewhere between 15 to 27 or 30 have a higher percentage of your DNA, and in a sense, you could consider them to be yours, although none of them have as much as 50% of your DNA.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'd like to know, would you be able to tell me what is my vibrational frequency range that I'm currently at, and if that is good enough for contact?
It is good enough for contact, or we wouldn't be having this conversation. On average, you're hovering somewhere between 60 and 80,000 cycles per second.
Thank you so much. And I have a question that is from my daughter. She was in a dreamlike state, and she saw a gray, and she also a Pleiadian approached her. She believes it was a Pleiadian with an M-shaped long rod that he inserted in her arm 3 times, and the third time it scraped her bone, and she's just wondering what that meant or what was that about.
Again, this is 2 things. Number 1, the extraction of DNA, because the idea is that this travels in family lines, and your daughter is part of the hybridization program as well. So not only the extraction of DNA, but also an adjustment genetically, something inserted to help adjust the genetics to make her more vibrationally compatible with the hybrids that will come to live among you.
Okay, and why is it that she can recall such things when I don't recall anything?
Because she is closer to the idea of being in spirit, because children in this day and age on your planet are already hybridized and closer to the vibration that will be necessary for them to be capable of interacting with extraterrestrials and spirits. So she has more ability to do that by being of a younger generation.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bashar. That's all I wanted to ask.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.